come up with that dog shit pick. What the fuck were we thinking? What the fuck were you thinking?
I thought I added myself, but I didn't. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Jimnasium. As always, it is me, XFL Jim. And I am joined by the man himself. It is Chase Sessoms, a.k.a. the Wolf of Oaklawn. Ooh, Chase, buddy, how's it going? How you feeling?
It's Breeders' Cup week, so I'm feeling great. That was an appropriate little sound drop for the week for me. I'm waiting for the past performances to come out, so this is like a good way for me to kill time. Not that this is just a way for me to kill time, Jim. You know, I love you. I love being here.
This is going to be one of your busier weeks. This is like a top 3 busy week for Chase. Is this a top 3 no sleep week?
It's up there. It's pretty well up there with Kentucky Derby week, and yeah. It's gonna get weird, real weird.
It's gonna get real weird for me too. Canadian football playoffs begin this Saturday, so I'm gonna have to juggle my time watching. I promised people CFL playoff stream, so I will be streaming those while also trying to find ways to watch college football. It's gonna be an exciting time for everybody.
Yeah.
It's an exciting time right now. Next week, this is the last week without playoff rankings in college football.
The last week where the AP actually matters.
Yeah, and I feel like the playoffs, at least it feels like the last few years, haven't deviated too far from the AP. Not, like, what was it, year 1? It was Mississippi State number 1.
I think so. Yeah.
So I don't see any way, and I guess we'll get into the whole AP top 25. I don't see any way they don't have. If everything stays the same, I don't see how you don't have Oregon number 1.
I don't either. I mean, all they've done is handle business. They beat the crap out of teams.
Best win, I think, out of any playoff team. I think also no losses.
Yeah, that's clutch. That whole no losses at this point, heading into November, pretty clutch.
Pretty big deal. Chase, are you ready to dive into the really last? I mean, we'll obviously keep doing it, and we'll probably try and predict what the playoff ones will be. But this is our last AP top 25 that matters.
Let's get it.
Receiving votes: 1 vote for South Carolina, 1 vote for the Gamecocks.
How?
I think they're going to end up being a feisty team. I think that's a good way to describe South Carolina, is feisty. They have a good defensive front. They have a bleh offense.
Yeah.
But I think they're feisty. And you know what? I might bet them this week against Texas A&M.
I would love to see it. I would love to see that happen, Jim.
I'm just saying. Might do
From
it.
your lips to God's ears, Jim.
Receiving 3 votes, it is Louisiana Lafayette.
Okay,
it's fine.
Are they having just a quietly good season?
I think, emphasis on the quiet. I think this year in particular for the Sun Belt, it's anybody's game. The Sun Belt seems wide open right now.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. 4 votes for UNLV. It's a good team.
It's a good team. I'm glad that they're hanging around. They still have a chance to battle into the top 25, but I think that's an appropriate fall after playing their first tough team.
Syracuse. That's fair.
That's fair.
I know, you're right, though. Boise State is easily their toughest matchup. And I think at this point, Boise's probably rooting for him too, just so that they have more ranked wins.
True.
Also receiving 4 votes, your Arkansas Razorbacks.
Get us
clap it
out
up
of
for the
there,
Razorbacks.
man.
Let's clap
Get us.
up.
I'll clap it up, but get us out of there. Get us. We don't deserve them.
No, you can hang around in the receiving votes area.
Oh man, I don't want our heads all big whenever we go into this Louisiana Tech game, because that is going to be like that. That is like it. That is the last helicopter on, man. That is the last game where we might be able to get bowl eligible. I think
It's your best
Like,
shot, easily.
easily the best shot remaining on the schedule.
Are both of us sweating out this next game because you have La Tech, we have UCLA? These are like both of our best shots to make a bowl, and then if we don't win these games somehow, it's going to be just like frustrating and tense every week.
Yeah, pretty much. So hold on? Do we have La Tech this week, or do we have someone?
Let me take a look at the Arkansas Razorbacks football schedule. Excuse me. Arkansas Razorbacks, you guys have Ole Miss.
Oh yes,
home.
Ole Miss.
It's Ole Miss at home,
least.
bye week, Texas at home, La Tech.
We could jump up and get Ole Miss.
You could get Ole Miss, and then you end the season at Missouri, and if Missouri's still rocking their backup, you could get Missouri.
Now,
if Brady Cook's not playing, you could get Missouri.
Those expectations are getting too high. Let's just say receiving 4 votes is good enough for me.
Okay, we're not going to say Arkansas 8-3 just yet.
No,
but some people could. That's all I'm going to say. Louisville with 5 votes.
I still think that's a pretty good football team. They're more of basketball on turf sort of thing, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Still receiving votes. Navy with 23 votes.
Yeah.
That's like the worst. That was an outlier, it feels like, right?
I did not think that Notre Dame would be so ready to defend the triple option, but then like you saw them like line up and you're like, oh yeah, Notre Dame is way bigger and way faster than anybody that they've played all season.
And like this is the sloppiest game Navy has played all season. What was it? 5 turnovers, 6 maybe?
Something like that. They're usually, I know it's kind of cliche to say this, but they're always, these service academies are always very disciplined teams that don't get a bunch of penalties and don't do stupid shit like fumble the football. And yeah,
they had not fumbled the football since August. And they did it like 5 times this game.
Ridiculous.
28 votes for,
I like that we're keeping them in the mix in the discussion that they could win their way back in, because I still think that's a really good football team.
I also think that's still I don't think they win that game more often than not, but I think usually it'll be more competitive. I think on a regular basis, that game would be more competitive than what we saw on Saturday.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tulane with 28 votes. I think also having a quiet, pretty good season.
They've been quietly kicking the shit out of people, it seems.
Yeah, they have.
I don't know how you can do that quietly, but they've been doing it. Because I'll just be like rolling through the scores of like, oh damn, Tulane, you didn't have to hurt them like that.
I think they got to be the front runner for the AAC right now. Yeah.
Army still, right?
Oh, Army. Yeah. It's like Army, then Tulane, and then Memphis still hanging around.
I'd say Army, Tulane, Navy, probably.
Yeah, because Navy's only loss isn't even in conference.
Yep.
Okay. 34 votes. I just mentioned them. Memphis. Hanging around.
They get a lot of cred from that Florida State win early in the season, and then you see what that Florida State win is, turned into over the last couple of weeks. It's pretty meh now.
I always feel like they have more than one loss, but they only have one loss. It feels like they have more, right?
Who was their one loss?
Navy. It was Navy. They lost at Navy.
Huh. Huh.
In a 100-point shootout, 56-44.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, they're probably gonna win out. No, they won't. They have UTSA, Rice, UAB, and then at Tulane. That's gonna be a big one. That could be. I mean, depending on how the Army Navy seasons go here on out, that could be like an AAC championship like decider.
Yeah. And did anyone have the coach from Rice as their next coach to be fired?
I did not. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
He was not on the list. And then last receiving votes, Vanderbilt with 41.
I'm glad they're sticking around. Also,
they're a good team.
They're a good team. They gave Texas a game.
They're a good damn team. Well coached, great quarterback. That's a good Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
They're also like a loss to Missouri away from being still in the SEC like discussion.
That's true. Also true.
Speaking of which, at number 25, it's Missouri.
Man, they just got pretty well dunked on, didn't they?
I'm gonna say this: Brady Cook knocked out right away. Different injury than his one last week. And without him, this team that had already not been that great looked dog shit.
Looked pretty tough trying to move that football. It's like Alabama was just kind of just starting to get their chops back a little bit, playing defense, it seemed.
It seemed that way. Also, this is kind of the time where I would take a team like Missouri, who's had two really, really bad losses now, get them out of there and throw a team like Memphis or Tulane in. Why not?
You know me, I'm always pro like Squidbilly. I'm always pro put the Squidbillies.
I just feel like we know Missouri at this point.
Yeah,
and especially without Brady Cook, like you factor that in, get him out, get him the hell out.
Yeah.
At 24, it's Illinois.
It's just me and the boys making some Illinois.
They got rolled.
They did get rolled. They got rolled by the best team in the country. So
can't fault them too far. They fell 4 spots, which seems like a lot, but I don't know. They're getting rolled. It's fine.
Yeah,
I understand. At 23, watch out, Colorado.
They're just sneakily continue to win games, just one after another.
And they look like better each week. I'm waiting for them to play the top of the Big 12.
Yeah.
Let me see when that might even happen. Okay, so they got Texas Tech this week. No. Utah at home. No. Not the way Utah's playing. At Kansas. No. Dude, holy shit. Colorado could win out. It's Texas Tech, Utah, Kansas, Oklahoma State. We could be talking about a 10-2 Colorado right now.
Man, that Texas Tech Colorado game is going to be an absolute shootout.
It's going to be like a 130-point game.
It's going to be a barn burner right there.
10-2 Colorado.
It's possible. Like we said, this was the hardest team to predict, and they could either be really good or they could be really bad. I don't even remember if what I said, if they were really going to be really good or really bad, but I felt like I was...
We flipped a coin. We had literally... This was one of like 2 or 3 teams. We had zero idea. Early on in the season, looked like they were going to be really bad, and then they've kind of turned it on since that Baylor game, and they've established a run game. Their defense is playing solid. They have still, I think, Travis Hunter, probably the best player in the country. This team is legitimately good. I wonder, so the Big 12 title race is wild. If they go undefeated... Okay, so they have 1 conference loss to Kansas State. Kansas State has 1 conference loss to BYU.
Okay.
BYU has none. Iowa State has none. I think those are really your 4 like title racing teams in the Big 12. So Farmageddon at the end of the year will be massive, and BYU will be a very, very interesting team to watch going forward. Because they also play Iowa State. No, never mind. No, they don't.
They could play Iowa State though for a
No.
conference championship.
They could. So it'll probably if BYU wins out, Colorado wins out, K-State wins out, then it's BYU K-State. So Colorado would need BYU and K-State to drop a game. Or Iowa. They need one of these teams to drop like at least one more game.
Yeah,
Maybe
for them
two.
to be in the mix.
But the fact that they're in the mix, credit to Dion, credit to what Colorado's doing. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, man. He's going to be really great as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys next year.
Yes, he will. At 22, it's the Cougs, Washington State. Sitting there at 7-1.
I don't even know who they play now.
They played man, I don't fucking know. It's so hard. All their games are on like CW.
Yeah, man. It's hard to how did you end up with a deal with CW there at the just a thank you CW for saving it at the last minute, the 2-pack, but yeah, man, it's hard to watch a Washington Cougars game because can you tell me what channel CW is like in your shit? Like, because
I have YouTube TV, so I don't know, but
yeah.
I remember back in the day when I had cable, it was channel 16.
Oh, see, I don't even know. I have no idea what CW is.
I used to watch what was it? Smallville. I used to watch Smallville.
A little Smallville, a little One Tree Hill for you.
Oh, a little bit.
Yeah, all right.
At 21, yours and my Army Black Knights.
They just keep chugging along. Who else? Who do they have left on their schedule?
Okay, so they got Air Force this week, and then that should definitely be a dub. Ooh, at North Texas. That's tough.
That could be a shootout.
Ooh, and then a bye week, and then they play Notre Dame at Yankee Stadium. How does Notre Dame get these neutral site games against the service academies?
It's the Shamrock Series.
Whatever. That's some BS.
I've been to a Shamrock Series game when I saw them play Arizona State at Jerry World.
So they get a bye week. So it's Air Force this week at North Texas. Bye week, Notre Dame, UTSA, Navy. Maybe probably a loss to Notre Dame at this point.
I want to see what happens when Bryson Daly gets a crack at him. You know,
Dude.
like I might be smelling upset in that one too. You know.
So before that game, that's okay. I was going to say sandwich spot. It is right before Notre Dame's at USC.
Okay.
It's sandwiched between Virginia and at USC for Notre Dame. And Army's playing more of a straight up option thing rather than what Navy was doing.
That's also true. It's a little bit harder to defend, probably.
I mean,
Here's the deal, though.
I'm hoping for a Bryson Daly Heisman come out special. Hey, this guy belongs in New York. Look what he did to Notre Dame.
Where he scores 5 touchdowns in a game, sort of blows up, that sort of thing. Here's the deal, though, Jim. This is what kind of gives me a little bit of apprehension, and it was just looking at the Notre Dame and Navy game, which was everyone from Navy looked pretty small, and everyone from Notre Dame looked really big and really fast. And I think that you're
Army though.
I think you're gonna have that a little bit with Army.
America will be behind Army.
True.
At number 20, SMU.
Just quiet chuggers. Chuggers of a long.
They play Pitt this week, and the game's on the ACC network. That's hilarious to me because these are two teams that are they're competing for the conference right now. They're right in the mix.
Two teams that you would actually like to see.
Way more than Miami or Clemson.
Yeah.
Yeah. SMU have been playing in instant classics week in and week out too. At number 19, Ole Miss.
They just kind of became forgettable as soon as they lost their first game a little bit.
And even more so after they lost their second.
Yeah. I can't believe they're still kind of. I feel like you should maybe kick them out in favor of some other, one-loss teams or.
I think we could kick out Ole Miss and Missouri and put in Memphis and Tulane.
I would agree.
Or keep Vanderbilt in there.
True.
If Vanderbilt just has that friggin' the 3 losses that kind of kill. At 18, Pitt. 7-0 Pitt, baby.
7-0 Pitt.
7-0 Pitt.
Feel like they should be ranked a little bit higher at this point, but the ACC is a mess.
Yeah, the ACC is crazy. I'm very excited to watch Pitt at SMU this week. Very hyped for that one.
Should be a whole lot of offense in that game.
It's a night game, too. 7 p.m. for you and me.
Ooh, what channel is it on?
ACC Network. It's brutal.
That is brutal.
At number 17, falling one spot, it is the Kansas State Wildcats.
How many spots did they fall? One
spot. They were at 16. Now they're at 17 after squeaking by the Kansas Jayhawks.
I could understand dropping one after a squeaker.
I get it, but it's also like a rivalry game. I don't know. I mean, it's fine. Their season also looking pretty decent. It's really going to come down to that Iowa State game because they play Houston, Arizona State, and Cincinnati before that.
Cincinnati.
Farmageddon's going to be massive, dude.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to be like that's like if everything keeps kind of on this trajectory, it's going to be winner of Farmageddon versus BYU for the Big 12. And I don't know if we would have seen the BYU part of that coming.
Yeah, at all. That blew.
At number 16, falling 8 spots, LSU.
They got smoked. There's no other way to put it.
Connor
what
Wayman
did you think
gets hurt, and then the backup comes in and looks great.
And
for A&M.
just shreds. Yeah. By the way, what did you think of the all black unis for Texas A&M?
I think they honestly, my honest opinion, I think they have maybe the best all black unis in the game.
They were just black on white, weren't they? Like black with white.
I think they're clean.
Pretty clean.
I think they're pretty clean, dude. Iowa State's been doing some all black unis here and there, and it doesn't really work for me. These Texas A&M ones were clean. Did you see what the A&M coach said after the game? He's like, "We're a real football team. We don't." I'm gonna look up the exact quote. Let me see what the quote was. So Mike Elko, this is a real program. It's not fake. It's not a politician running this program talking fast and bullshitting everybody. I wonder if that's targeted at anyone specific in the SEC, perhaps.
I don't know.
Who could it be?
It sounds like a take at Jimbo, honestly.
It's either that or I thought it was Brian Kelly.
Yeah, that's fair.
At number 15, Boise State, baby.
They just keep winning. That other dude just keeps running for yards and scoring touchdowns. I mean, they got the hard part of their schedule out of the way, don't they?
Yeah, I will say shout out UNLV for keeping him under 150 yards. That's not
that
easy
right
to
there
do.
That right there is a task.
So they got San Diego State, Nevada, San Jose State, at Wyoming, Oregon State. Realistically, this team probably wins out. At this point, if it's not Army, I need to see this Boise State play in the playoffs because I think they have probably the best shot at getting somebody.
Yeah.
They've still played Oregon better than any other team that's played Oregon.
That's true. That is true. They were kind of like a little bit of a listless Oregon, though, at the beginning. Because
they shuffled around their line and whatnot. They've changed some things.
Because who was it? Was it Idaho? Or...
Yeah, the next week it was Idaho. It was Idaho week 1, and then Boise State barely lost. And then after that, they shuffled some things around in the offensive line and have just been boat racing everybody else. Except for Ohio State. That was a really close game.
Yeah.
But I would love to see like a Boise State versus Alabama. Which I don't know how likely Bama is to make the playoffs right now. But like a Boise State versus this Texas team. That'd be a banger. Boise State versus like a Miami if they win the first round.
I'm trying to think because there are all sorts of teams that are like top notch that have trouble defending the run. You know, like he could just do work and just completely.
We saw, dude, Georgia versus Texas. Ashton Genty running on. Oh, come on, please.
Yeah.
Please. At number 14, it's Alabama.
I mean, they pretty well thumped Missouri.
I think they kind of needed that too.
A little bit. It looks like their defense has figured it out a little bit, just a little bit. It could.
My question: did their defense figure it out, or did they play a hapless Missouri with a backup quarterback?
That's also true. It could be that too.
I think this next game, so they're at LSU coming up. I think they get a bye week, then it's at LSU. That'll be a real test of that defense.
Yeah.
That's going to be a shootout, dude.
It might be.
At number 13, and honestly, this feels disrespectful. I'm just going to be honest. Number 13, it's Indiana.
Really? 13?
Right?
I feel like if you're undefeated in the Big Ten at this point, no matter what your Big Ten schedule may look like, if you're undefeated in the Big Ten in the last weekend of October, then you should be top 10.
And my issue here is, yeah, their schedule hasn't been tough, but they have been obliterating everybody.
Yeah. What is he said? Just Google me. I win everywhere I go. Something like that. Wasn't that what he said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know how many minutes Indiana has trailed this year?
It's not many.
It's 0.
Yeah.
They have not trailed at all this season at any point. I don't care who they're playing. They are... Oh, God. I need them. Okay. I need Indiana to win out here. I would love it so bad. So, here's the situation we get. They get at Michigan State and then Michigan back-to-back here.
Okay.
That Michigan game, Michigan's defense still will be a test.
True.
And then they get a bye week chase, and then it's at Ohio State. Ohio State, they get Ohio State right before Ohio State plays Michigan.
And they get them coming off the bye.
And they get dude. November 23rd, mark it.
Do you think it happens? You think Indiana jumps up and gets Ohio State?
I think it's a really competitive game because I think this Indiana team is extremely good. And
okay,
here's my take. If Nebraska could be that competitive with them, why the fuck not Indiana?
WTF not? Yeah.
At number 11, Iowa State.
Another just quiet. I still have yet to see this. This is add Washington this to the list with like Washington State of teams that I've yet to see play. I just know that they're really good and they keep winning games in their respective conference.
They've been getting better too. The offense has been like improving each and every week. Isaiah Cox chiming in. Indiana is being disrespected. Facts.
Big facts there, buddy.
Based on this next team that's ahead of both Iowa State and Indiana, Clemson at number 11. Sorry, so Iowa State was 12. Clemson's number 11.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but they're deserving of that ranking.
They're good. I mean, like, talk about a team that seems to have cleaned up. I mean, again, though, have they played a real team since Georgia?
I still don't think they have. Is the
App
issue.
State, NC State, Stanford, Florida State, Wake Forest, Virginia. Like, probably Virginia is the best team on that list.
I think that's the best team that they've played. Yeah.
Okay, Louisville out. after a bye. Is that like a definitive? If they dominate Louisville, can we say definitively this team is like really good?
If they dominate Louisville,
Yeah.
what do we consider domination?
I say win by like 17 or more points. We could say
17 or
they're
more?
Good. They're good. They're like capital G good at that point.
I would say that's fair.
I think if they have decisive wins in their next 3 games, which are Louisville, at Virginia Tech, and at Pitt, those are all 3 legitimate teams.
Okay.
I'd call those legitimate.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, there were teams that we thought were going to be the good team to take on Clemson. Like, remember when NC State was supposed to be something?
Yeah, NC State was supposed to. Remember when Florida State was supposed to be not like the worst team in the ACC?
Yeah. Yeah. I want this Clemson train to fall off so bad, just so bad, and I don't know how it ends.
I'm with you, but I also have a future on this team, and I kind of want them to like play Miami and throttle them. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I hate to root against you in your futures, though. So.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, if I'm picking between the future and like Pitt coming back to get it, let's go Pitt all day. At number 10, Texas A&M. Talk about a team who's looked way better in the like last few weeks.
Yeah, I hate it, and they seem to like it doesn't matter which quarterback; they just seem to be good right now, and it's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting to see.
Are they? They're kind of in the driver's seat for the SEC right now, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Since they beat LSU.
And guess who doesn't play Alabama or Georgia?
That'd be Texas A&M.
That'd be Texas A&M.
They do have Texas though.
Yeah, that game's gonna go crazy. That game's gonna go crazy.
If they're both one loss at that point.
Yeah. Oh,
because that could be a tournament play-in game at that point.
I would think both teams. I think at 10-2, if they're both one loss at that point, yeah, I think both teams are probably getting in.
And then the winner's going to the Chicken Ranch.
I think you're just playing for a bye at that point. Yeah.
You've seen the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, right?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, going to the Chicken Ranch. Those boys are gonna go have sex with prostitutes. All right.
At number 9, these guys are not having sex with prostitutes. It's BYU.
Nope, not them.
No.
I feel like they should be ranked higher, but I understand it. This fringe top 10 sort of thing. A
lot of their wins feel like fluky and luck based. I'm calling it right now. I think BYU is this year's TCU.
So like the magic horseshoe up ass run to the championship sort of thing.
Yep, and it's just all a matter of how long does it last. And I think BYU, they're making it last. They're a well-coached team, and BYU is awesome. And
BYU is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm pretty enthused by BYU.
Talk about it like I want them so bad. I was a year early. Dude, this team, oh my God, if they keep this up. So the Holy War, anything's possible. They have at Utah. But then it's Kansas, Arizona State, Houston. Give me an undefeated BYU.
It's funny. It's like it feels like football is a little bit better when the U is good, when BYU is good. Yep. It's weird how you have the juxtaposition of those two. What are other schools that are like whenever they're good, football is good?
I hate to say it, but maybe USC.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like it does kind of feel like, it's nice to have a dominant West Coast team like that has like when they're good, they have that swagger.
Right. Because being in Southern California, the swagger comes with it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of like there. They're probably my pick. At number 8, Notre Dame.
Dude, they dropped the hammer on Navy.
Mm-hmm.
but I can't call attention to it enough, Jim. How much bigger and how much faster Notre Dame was than Navy. Good Lord.
I also can't call enough attention to the fact that guess what? NIU is now 4-4. And I believe they only have one win in the MAC.
They could totally finish 8-4 too somehow.
Yeah,
Just
the MAC's
because
crazy.
The MAC be crazy.
Especially coming in because we're getting into November and that's when like full on MACtion craziness kicks off.
Yeah.
But like Notre Dame lost to a 4-4
MAC team.
NIU.
Yeah.
Like I cannot state this clearly enough. That's if we're talking at the end of the year between an 11-1 Notre Dame and an 11-1 BYU or Iowa State or any other like team in the ACC or Big 12, I cannot overstate
disqualifying
how disqualifying it is that you lost to fucking NIU.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Hard to come back from that.
At number 7, Tennessee.
They have a way to play their self back into it.
I
after
think so
losing
too.
to us.
And like the loss wasn't embarrassing.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. There have been some seasons where losing to us is pretty embarrassing, but I think this is not one of those seasons. You know,
I don't think so. I've watched 3 Arkansas games, and the frustrating part for me, for you guys, is it feels like the losses are almost more on you.
A little bit, and on me personally, honestly.
Fair. That's fair.
It feels like I've done something wrong.
At number 6, it's Texas.
I feel like they're becoming less and less impressive as the season goes along. Like at the beginning of the year, is like, damn, look at Texas. Oh, look at Arch Manning. And now, like you've had like quarterback swaps and like it just kind of like.
You mean once they start playing the real teams on their schedule and not like UTSA and Michigan and Colorado State?
Yes. Now that they're not playing just what I consider just a varnished turd of a schedule, yeah, they seem less and less impressive.
They got to come out of the bye week and dominate Florida for me to be back on Texas.
Florida will, I think, surprise people because they occasionally have the output of like some crazy good game. And it's like, where the hell did that come from? I did not expect that to happen. Or they'll just play like absolute dog shit.
You never know with the Gators.
There's no in between with them. There's no like we're just gonna play really close. Like it's either we're gonna fold up early or we're gonna be out here just kicking the shit out of somebody.
At number 5, the Miami Hurricane.
I think they're good.
I do too.
I think they got really good receivers. I think Cam Ward is probably gonna win the Heisman.
Probably, and it sucks. I feel like it should go to a not quarterback this year, but yeah. He'll be there no matter what.
He'll be there. I agree with you, though. It should go to a non-quarterback. Yeah, I know Uncle Rico is just like eagerly awaiting the fall off, but I kind of like this Miami team.
I'm waiting for the like Cam Ward game where he does make a bunch of mistakes. I don't know when or if it's even coming in the regular season at this point.
Right. So you're considering them pretty much a shoe-in for playoff football?
I think so. Like, I look at this Miami schedule and I really don't see too much until they play in the ACC championship game. Like, they've got Duke, who I think is not a great team. Georgia Tech, who knows if Haynes King's situation, but even then, I don't think they're very good. Bye week, and then it's Wake, who has been awful this year, and then at Syracuse to end the season.
Syracuse could be.
At Syracuse at the end of the season, anything can happen in JMA Wireless Dome.
JMA Wireless Dome, great.
But I think either way, they're going to the ACC championship game.
Even with just one loss, they would still end up in the ACC championship game.
I mean, we'll see what happens with Pitt and Clemson. But I would think. I think more than likely they're going to be undefeated. And even then, I don't. The issue that we're going to run into with the playoffs is what happens if there's a shitload of 10-2, 11-1 teams.
Right. How do you thin out that number?
How do you like pick like does someone want to take a 10-2 like say Texas, a 10-2 Texas over an 11-1 Miami?
Right.
With like Texas's losses to Texas A&M and Georgia? Like what do we factor in there? What about an 11-1 Indiana or a 10-2 Ohio State if they lose to Indiana? Who at that point Indiana would probably be playing in the Big Ten championship game versus a 10-2 Clemson. I don't like. There'll be a lot of weird stuff going on at the end of the season, and a lot of people will be unhappy. And I'm here for all the hating.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, just whenever it moved to, 4 teams, from two teams. Just, dude, the level of hate that went into it was amazing, and I love just hearing like all the takes that this is ruining football and this is the worst thing that can happen and all that stuff. I just poured on like please like football's changing. Just accept the fact that football is changing and go with it. And I will listen to all your hate. I'll still listen to all your beautiful hate about it.
At number 4, Ohio State.
Can't lose any more games.
Nope, they get Penn State this coming up.
Of course they do.
It's a big one.
Well,
it's number 3, Penn State, by the way.
Yeah, it's time for James Franklin to James Franklin it up.
This is I think this is his best shot because I don't think Penn State plays anybody else. Didn't Uncle Rico bet on him this year?
I think so.
This has got to be the year.
This has got to be it.
This has got to be it, James. Number 2, Georgia. Big one coming up against Florida. And then number 1, of course, Oregon.
God. Do you think they absolutely handle Florida, or do you think that they just squeak by?
I think... Does Florida have any hope for the season coming into this game?
I don't think so.
So Florida right now is sitting at 4-3.
I guess they have some hope. Oh,
Jesus Christ, though. Florida's coming off of a bye. Georgia coming off of a bye. I think Georgia just beats the living shit out of them, though.
That is probably how that goes down.
Does Florida make a bowl game? Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, Florida State.
That's tough.
They got to win 2 of those.
They got to win 2. I
don't think so.
I don't think so either. That is pretty tough.
And then Oregon, yeah, we already said. Oregon number 1. Clearly looking like the best team right now.
Yeah, hands down. Hands down.
Now, Chase, we have a little bit of this playoff prediction thing from ESPN. So it says, choose one team to make the college football playoff. Start your path here. Below, you'll find the 24 teams with the best chance to make the 12-team playoff. There are 24 teams here. I'm going to list each one. I want you to tell me the percentage chance to make the playoff, according to ESPN.
The percentage chance to make the playoff?
These are the top 12.
Oh,
sorry,
man.
Top 24.
Top 24. And you want me to give you the percentage?
Yeah, and we'll see how close you get.
Let me know, because I have a feeling I'm going to be way off.
UNLV.
4%.
9% according to ESPN.
Okay.
Washington State.
11%.
10%. Close. Tulane.
13%.
11% for Tulane. You're close, though. Ole Miss. It jumps up a little bit here. Ole Miss. Just a little bit.
17%.
19% for Ole Miss. Still. Pitt.
21%.
Oh, you're so close. 20 on the dot.
Oh, my God.
LSU.
17.
21. 21% for LSU right now. I don't know how they're higher than Pitt, but
I don't know either.
Army. These are all going up.
23.
21% for Army.
Okay.
Now a little bit of a jump. SMU.
29.
Right, almost right on the money. 30. Clemson.
35.
32 for Clemson. Kansas State.
35.
39% for Kansas State. Iowa State. Jumping up a little bit more here.
46.
Right on the money. 46% for Iowa State. Let's go.
There
Texas
we go.
A&M.
Small increase. 48.
47.
Okay, so a
47%.
real small increase. I overestimated what that meant.
Alabama.
50.
3. We got a 53% for Alabama with 2 losses right now. BYU.
56.
So 57. Almost right there. Notre Dame.
58.
59 for Notre Dame. Boise State.
62.
61 for Boise State. Tennessee.
64.
68% for Tennessee. Indiana up next.
71.
69 for Indiana.
Yeah.
Ohio State.
71.
73 for Ohio State. Texas, the Longhorns.
75.
Yep, right on the money. 75%. Penn State. Decent jump here. Decent jump.
83.
Oh, 84.
Damn it.
Georgia.
90.
85. Only 85% for Georgia.
All right.
Oregon.
94.
87. And then at number 1 at 90%, it's Miami.
Really? And this is just to make the playoff.
This is just to make the playoff.
I think this is very interesting, Jim. Very interesting.
It's interesting right here. And then if we go through the futures on DraftKings right now, the top 10 teams, starting at the bottom at plus 2,200, Texas A&M at 22-1 to win. This is the national championship now.
I don't want any part of that shit.
Alabama at 20-1.
I might sprinkle on that.
Miami at 17-1.
I'd definitely sprinkle on that.
Tennessee at 15-1.
You know, this is just going to be you reading off names and me being like, I'd sprinkle on that.
And then
Let's sprinkle on that.
It's Clemson at 15-1, Penn State 13-1, Texas plus 500, Oregon plus 475, Ohio State plus 450, Georgia plus 340. If you want to go crazy, both BYU and Boise State are 120-1.
Every single one that you read off that was greater than 10-1 odds all sounded just like a screw it, let's go kind of team where it's like, yeah, I could see that happening. Let's do this.
Fucking Indiana 50-1.
Yeah.
Hammer it.
Hammer down. Go ahead, dude.
Okay, now it's time to go over some of these college football games. There's just a few that we're going to hit. Kennesaw State 27, Libibity 24. Boom, baby!
We got there. We got the one. That was a team that we picked to go unvictorious this year.
That was, I believe, the first team we picked to go unvictorious. And not only do they get the win, they get a win over the top team in the conference in Libibity.
And Libivity. And I got to think squash the Libivity playoff hopes.
Yes, squash the slim, like, undefeated Liberty was going to try and make their way and make something happen, but not anymore. You can't lose to the bottom team in FBS.
Yeah, pretty bad.
Pitt 41, Syracuse 13.
What happened to my man Kyle McCord?
3 pick sixes in the first half.
Jesus Christ.
That's what happened.
It's terrible. I hate to see it.
Can't have that. You cannot have that.
No.
Louisville 31, Boston College 27. Louisville just continues to play in very entertaining games. They're very fun.
Yeah.
Boise State 29, UNLV 24. Banger.
Yeah.
Good job holding Ash Genty under 200 yards. Like, that's an accomplishment. I looked on Prize Picks and Underdog. His over-unders every week are like 190.
Our 190. That's
like
Jesus.
Flat.
That's incredible.
USC 42, Rutgers 20. Rutgers, as well as they started out, were maybe a little fraudulent and are now coming back down to earth. I don't know if Rutgers makes a bowl now.
Are they injured? Like, what's the deal?
No, they just, like, they were playing way above pay grade against, like, they should have lost to Virginia Tech. They should have lost to Washington. And then they've just been kind of playing back to their level. Close loss at Nebraska, and then just boat race by Wisconsin. Barely losing to UCLA. Boat raced again by USC. This team is like this team deserves to hover around 6-6 and will. I think they will have close games against Minnesota and Maryland.
Yeah. I feel like their running game could give anybody problems as long as they can get it, as long as they can execute. They seem to be able to run downhill and just kind of, ram it down your throat sort of thing. And I could see them doing that against teams like Minnesota and Maryland for sure.
I think so too. Memphis 33, Charlotte 28. Dude.
This was an epic game.
Let's keep disrespecting Biff Poggi because it seems to be working.
As soon as we started respecting him is when they lost that game, man.
Yeah, I texted you. It's like, should we start respecting him? I guess so. And then...
There we go. Then went right downhill.
Memphis came in for the comeback.
I don't know what to do with Charlotte and Biff Poggi. Like, because if you're Charlotte, like, who do you get that's better than Biff Poggi?
I don't think so. They're 3-5 right now. I don't think they got 3 more wins in them. I think they got probably 1, maybe 2.
I think that would be probably pretty close to their limit.
You'd call 5-7 a successful season at Charlotte, right?
You think so? Like, I feel like you have to have a little bit more patience with coaches if you're a team like Charlotte.
I think you would call 5-7, and like they look so much better than they did last year. They look like they have worked. They are competitive. We're respecting them now, so Tulane's going to dominate them next week, but I can't help it.
Yeah, we just need to start disrespecting them so they can have a good showing against Tulane, against the Squidbillies.
For Memphis, you cannot almost lose to Charlotte. You can't.
No.
You cannot do that.
No. For a team that was being talked about as a, getting the last seed, as the P5 team, or I
can't be.
Memphis is looked kind of unimpressive in a few games now.
Tulane 45, North Texas 37. This was kind of like a North Texas staged comeback here. Tulane kind of put it on them early.
Yeah, I keep seeing my North Texas team that I love so dearly, like, just come up so put up a ton of points and come up just short against teams like this.
It's going to keep happening, I think. I think North Texas is feisty and they're fun, but it's just they can't get these dubs. Ohio 47, Buffalo 16. Just wanted to say Ohio looking pretty darn good in the MAC.
Who's confounding is Buffalo, because Buffalo will come out of this and win the next game.
Yep.
Buffalo
Buffalo might be one of the mackiest teams.
They're very macky. They're very Mackey. They don't look half bad if you watch them play, but then they get embarrassed in games like this.
Notre Dame 51, Navy 14. Speaking of embarrassing, holy shit.
Big and small.
It was, yeah. Notre Dame just looked bigger, outclassed them in every way. What was the turnover? Navy lost 5 fumbles and threw 1 interception.
Yeah.
You're not winning games with 6 turnovers.
No, it doesn't matter who you. That's about how you should get blown out with 6 turnovers.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. And we'll have another game here that confounds and confuses me based on almost a similar statistic. Ohio State 21, Nebraska 17. This one it hurts, but also at least we were competitive, but moral victories suck, but
little life affirming.
It was life affirming in the fact that the defense looked really good, and after a game like Indiana, I was worried that they wouldn't. I was worried that this defense was going to quit. You're worried about a team after a dominating loss like that, about a team quitting. Nebraska didn't quit. They almost won this game, and in my mind, had plenty of opportunities to win this game, but our offensive coordinator is dumber than a sack of shit. And is addicted to screen passes.
Addicted to screen passes? One of those?
Game-winning drive, everything on the line. You have a minute 40 left to go.
Yeah.
First down screen pass, second down screen pass. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
You're setting them up for that third down screen pass is what you're doing.
No, we're setting them down for the third down, long throw to interception. Which is what happened.
Yeah.
Shout out to the defense, though. Dylan Raiola even doing some things with his legs, but the offensive play calling, abysmal. The reffing in this game was abysmal. 3 times they didn't spot the ball correctly. And they admitted that recently.
I'm just saying that if it doesn't work 2 times in a row, then you try the screen pass the third time. Because then we'll never see it coming that third time.
I'm over Marcus Satterfield. He should be gone. It's nice to see that this team still has fight. You got to make a bowl. Bowl.
I know them feelings.
That makes 27 straight losses to ranked opponents, by the way. Just pile it on.
That hurts so much. I feel that so much for you, buddy. I'm sorry.
Indiana 31. Also, don't even ask me how many 1-score losses.
I don't want to know.
Indiana 31, Washington 17 with Indiana's backup quarterback. No Curtis Rourke in this one. They still put it on. This team is legitimately great. Indiana is a great team this year.
Yeah, they are. What are we going to do with our hands whenever they make it to a Big Ten championship game?
10 win Indiana, 11 win Indiana, 12 win Indiana. Just keep printing shirts.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for it.
This is the best Indiana team of our lifetime, right?
This is potentially the best Indiana team of all time.
That's true. Yeah.
They had Lee Corso on game day wearing his old Indiana sweater from when he was a coach.
He's got some pretty funny stories about that they had never beaten Ohio State. They'd never been in the lead against Ohio State, and they kicked a field goal, and then he called a timeout to take a picture.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ole Miss 26, Oklahoma 14. Oklahoma's just not a good team. This was a game for a good chunk of it. I think Lane Kiffin started calling plays in the late second, early third quarter.
Oh, you think he just kind of handed that task off?
I think he started calling. I think Lane's just I'm gonna start calling plays now because this was a game for a chunk of it.
Yeah, Oklahoma's defense should keep them in most games, and it seems like it does keep them in most games. But yeah, that offense is terrible right now. Absolutely terrible.
Arkansas 58, Mississippi State 25.
That offense is electric. Absolutely electric. I was worried about this game. I felt like I don't want to overlook. I've been saying for weeks now, it's all right, Mississippi State and La Tech. We got to win Mississippi State. We got to beat La Tech.
You're in a position where you can't overlook anybody?
No, we can't overlook anybody. we very much like those are like the two low lights on the schedule, and we have to be hyped to win those games. And fortunately, we're hyped to win that. Now, like it'll be super embarrassing if we don't beat La Tech.
Not only did you beat Mississippi State, you put a 50 burger on them.
Almost a 60 burger.
Almost a 60 burger.
Yeah, the old 58 burger. Our quarterback looked really, really good. I'm not sure Mississippi State doesn't just make opposing quarterbacks look really, really good, though, to be fair.
That's fair. That is fair. Miami of Ohio 46, Central Michigan 7. Rough day. Honestly, it was a rough Saturday for directional Mich schools.
Sounds like it, Jim.
BYU 37, UCF 24. They keep doing it somehow.
They just keep winning, man.
Also, I don't know what's happened to your boy KJ. He gets pulled. The UCF is on like their fourth quarterback right now.
I don't know either. I hope I wanted it to go so much better for him. I hope he can turn it around somehow.
I'm hearing calls to fire Gus Malzahn by some fans.
Do you maybe think too highly of yourself if that's the case?
I mean, I think he's not getting fired. I think maybe you wait a year. Like, I think Gus has proven himself at least competent enough to get some time.
Yeah.
Out of UCF. Western Michigan 52, Kent State 21. The lone bright spot for directional Mich.
Let's go.
Kent State may be like the worst team in college football.
Let's go, W-Mich.
Now that Kennesaw State got a win.
No, yeah, that's true. God, I still can't believe Kennesaw State got a win. Maction.
Speaking of which, Ball State 25, NIU 23. Ball State's not a good MAC team this year.
No, and NIU is a MAC team.
Yep. Speaking of action, Akron 25, Eastern Michigan 21. This one hurt. Eastern Michigan gets off to a rough start here, claws their way back, and then just can't finish it. This is a tough loss. Still sitting all right, but at this point, the MAC is Western Michigan's to lose.
I know. We love all of the directional Miches equally, but I know you love
Eastern's my fave.
Yeah.
Staying in the MAC, Bowling Green 41, Toledo 26. Bowling Green might also be a great pick for the MAC because they played a lot of these P4 teams close. That means nothing in the MAC at all, but putting it on Toledo like this, good sign.
Yeah.
Tulsa 46, UTSA 45. This is not a good Tulsa team.
No.
UTSA is down in the dirt right now. They're down in the dumps.
What happened? What happened to UTSA?
They lost their quarterback of 18 years. I still think you put faith in Jeff Traylor. I still think he's got the benefit of the doubt, but this is not a good Tulsa team.
They've even had a decent replacement quarterback as we thought, recruited and ready to go, who made some emergency starts, so he had the experience and everything. And nah, man, nah.
TCU 35, Texas Tech 34. Texas Tech on a little bit of a downward spiral right now. That defense is trash for Tech.
Yeah, it is. There's no illusions that they're going to out defense anybody. That's just we're going to need to score points.
Baylor 38, Oklahoma State 28. Oh, God, this is a bad Gundy year.
It's starting to feel like maybe the end of the Gundy era.
Is that also, he probably comes back and coaches, probably has a great year next year. Also, is, Dave Aranda kind of, saving his job a little bit?
I don't know. Because we certainly thought Dave Aranda was fired earlier this year, right?
We thought he was so he's one of two coaches, I feel, Billy Napier being the other one, who we already figured were pre-fire coming in.
Yeah.
Are they are both these guys sort of coaching their way back into their job?
What's Florida's record even?
Florida has 4 wins.
So they're 4-3.
Yes. Let me just confirm this. Yeah, Florida's 4-3. Wins over Kentucky, UCF, and no one else really. Like no one else upstanding.
No one.
I think Billy Napier will probably still be gone because they're going to get blasted by Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss.
That's a lot of getting blasted.
So he might still be gone. For Aranda and Baylor, though, TCU is winnable.
Yeah, that's gettable for sure.
Then bye week, it's at West Virginia, at Houston, Kansas. If they win one of those three, if they win two of those four of like TCU, West Virginia, Houston, Kansas, they're making a bowl game. And I think he saves his job.
So you think that a bowl game is the gold standard for Baylor at this point?
I don't know if it's the gold standard right now, but I think like based on what we saw, like the thought process was Baylor was going to be the worst team in the conference.
That's fair. Yeah.
I'm saying potentially. I'm like we're sitting right now. The three coaches we thought were going to be fired first were Napier. We said Sam Pittman. We did.
Sam Pittman,
and then
yeah.
Aranda. And I think all three have been doing like an excellent job while coaching for their jobs.
Yeah, I think Sam Pittman's saved his job with the win against Tennessee.
I think out of everything, if we're talking like, I mean, probably has to make a bowl.
Yeah.
But at this point, you just can't lose to La Tech, and then you do make a bowl. So,
yeah.
Make a bowl, job saved. I think Aranda, too, make a bowl, job saved. Napier, make a bowl, definitely job saved, because that means there's some marquee big fucking wins for him. I think Pittman has done the best job of the three.
Yeah. I like what I'm hearing right there.
But I think all three of them have been kind of like saving their job a little bit.
So have the we'll call it the Dino Babers power.
Yeah, and then people like Neil Brown over at West Virginia, who people after last year were like, oh, he's actually doing pretty good. Now he's like, his seat's getting pretty hot. I don't know what the fuck people are thinking of Mike Norvell in Florida State. I don't think he's getting fired, but he's having an all-time bad year.
Yeah. How do we explain this? Like, how have we explained it before? I don't know how we explain this with Florida State. Like, it can't all be DJU.
No, because he's not playing anymore.
Yeah.
It's just, this team is like quit. This is just bad. They're bringing in a good class, so maybe they're just like trying to redshirt people and wait till next year. I don't know. UConn 17, Rice 10. As Chase already mentioned, the Rice head coach. Second coach fired.
Who is number one?
ECU, baby.
All right. That's what happens when you're not the most improved team in the country.
Yeah. Rice has been confounding us for, 3 years now?
Years and years. We've been confounded by Rice.
This team is confusing, and I don't understand them, and I hate them now. Alabama 34, Missouri 0. Brady Cook out. Alabama whomping. They whomped the fuck out of them.
They brought in the starters for like a goal line stand to ensure the shutout.
They wanted a shutout. That defense needed it.
Yeah.
That was a petty move that I absolutely loved. Iowa 40, Northwestern 14.
What we live in the upside down whenever Iowa is scoring 40 points.
Yeah, so Iowa pulls Cade McNamara, they actually legitimately pull him. They get in Brendan Sullivan. He does all right. He runs the ball pretty well. Runs it for a touchdown. 8 scrambles for 41 yards. Caleb Johnson also went off. 3 touchdowns. Iowa's Iowa. I don't know, man. It sucks that they have 3 losses. I think with just 2, they could still make the playoffs, but I think with 3, it's next to impossible.
Yeah.
And they're still going to... They're just always going to be Iowa. Minnesota 48, Maryland 23. Maryland's not a good team.
No, but they still jumped up and got USC.
Damn right they did. Oregon 38, Illinois 9. Ain't nobody jumping up on Oregon because they fucking rolled. This game wasn't even this close.
Dude, now that like Illinois has been playing so well, I think every spot is a potential Burtoning, and that was quickly washed away from my mind after just thumping Illinois.
Yeah, it wasn't even standing for the Burt at all. Cal 44, Oregon State 7. Nice to see Cal put it on somebody now after these like close losses they've been having.
Yeah, they talked a lot of shit. They needed that. They needed that sort of neck crack game for them.
Texas 27, Vanderbilt 24.
Almost got him.
Dude, Vandy was hanging around. And Texas, like, I do think Texas looked like the overall better team in this one. Vanderbilt was just hanging around. And Diego Pavia is such a dude.
Yeah, man.
South Alabama 46, ULM 17. The ULM train was fun while it lasted.
It was. Don't sleep on the South Alabama team. I feel like they're a little bit better than their record shows. They've got a pretty good little quarterback. Was it Giovanni something?
Yes.
It's like Giovanni Smith or.
I think you might have nailed it. South Alabama, Giovanni Lopez.
Okay. Yeah, man, but
also Fluff Bothwell.
Yeah.
Fluff Bothwell.
That's a name. That is a name, sir.
It's an amazing name.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, man. They're sneaky. They're sneaky good, I think.
Sneaky bad. Not even sneaky, just straight up bad. Miami 36, Florida State 14. Florida State's poopy.
They're just terrible. Just awful.
You keep that momentum going. Houston 17, Utah 14.
Maybe we didn't give Houston enough credit.
I think they've been getting better throughout the year, and I think also Utah has, like, ever since Cam Rising got hurt, again, they're poopy. They suck. They're not.
Are they still playing Zach Wilson's kid brother?
He got pulled this game. I don't know who the backup was. Let me take a quick look. I know he got pulled, though.
You know what sounds like absolute torture, Jim?
Yeah, they pulled Isaac Wilson for Brandon Rose, went 7 for 15, 45 yards and a pick.
You know what must be just completely frustrating is having your career hinge on how Cam Rising does.
It has to be so stressful.
That can't be fun.
These individual stats are hilarious for Houston. Zion Chris went 6 for 13, 61 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick in the passing game.
That's wow.
That's awesome. That's awesome. West Virginia 31, Arizona 26. Good job, West Virginia.
There you go, West Virginia.
Utah State 27, Wyoming 25. Just piling on the fact that we were still super wrong about Wyoming.
Yeah, a loss to Utah State. That's tough to stomach.
I mean, Wyoming's just not a good team this year.
Not great.
Arkansas State 34, Troy 31. That's what
Jim has disappeared.
I was so hyped for the fucking Arkansas State Red Wolves that I left and pressed back on the wrong screen. That's how fucking hyped I am for this team.
All right, so yeah, they're not bad. They're pretty not bad, right? This is prime Butch season too. Like if there's ever a time where the high top looks it's high toppiest, like I think it's now, man.
And Chase, you know a couple of guys sitting on some Arkansas State futures in the Sun Belt.
I do know a couple guys.
These couple guys. Guess what?
These couple guys.
Bye week at Louisiana. Huge game.
Big game.
Huge game for the Sun Belt because Louisiana's in first place right now in the West. Arkansas State's in second. Massive game.
That's going to be a banger. That'll be a Fun Belt banger. What time of what day of the week is that?
That will be on Saturday at 4 p.m. my time on ESPN Plus. Why the fuck are they putting a game like that on ESPN Plus?
I don't know. They always make a wreck of it on ESPN Plus, it seems.
God, that's frustrating. But whatever. Michigan 24, Michigan State 17. There was a fight after the game, as there is every time in this one. Other than that, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Michigan State. You're next year.
Sorry, Sparty.
Penn State 28, Wisconsin 12. It wasn't even really that close. Penn State kind of put it on them, especially defensively.
This felt like it could be a James Franklin spot to James Franklin some shit up, but good win.
A lot of people were thinking that. A lot of people were like, especially with how Wisconsin have been playing these last few weeks. But then you look at the level of competition. Penn State plays Ohio State next. That'll be the real,
That's gonna be a good football game. Was that gonna be on Fox?
Yeah, it's probably gonna be the big noon kickoff, I would imagine.
Yeah.
A&M 38, LSU 23. A&M puts in the backup, and LSU could just do nothing.
Man, it feels like it wasn't even that close.
Right?
Honestly.
It felt like a bigger 10-point game.
Yeah. I think for games that ended up on ABC, for like the SEC on ABC, or even they had even Navy and Notre Dame on ABC, like ABC got a stinker lineup of games this Saturday.
Garrett Nussmeier for LSU went 25 for 50, 405 yards, 2 touchdowns. But wait, 3 interceptions.
That's tough. That's tough on the old ratio there.
Yeah, Marcel Reed got to rush for 3 touchdowns for Texas A&M once he came in.
Kid's got some wheels.
Yeah, he does. Didn't really pass the ball much, but he ran the fuck out of the ball.
Keeps getting better throwing the ball, I think.
I think so too. I think he's better than Wegman for this offense.
Maybe.
I think so, personally. Auburn 24, Kentucky 10. I'm not plugged in, but I do follow some people that are fans of Kentucky, and I see some Kentucky posts on the side. It sounds like people are going to try and start having a conversation about Stoops.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sounds like the fan base might want to have a conversation about Stoops.
That's interesting. That's, I'd hate to see them get rid of Bob Stoops and then make the wrong hire and then just be abysmal for a long time. I would hate to see that happen.
They're doing the thing. I'm seeing a lot of the comments and whatnot. It's just yes, he got us out from the dumpster, but it seems like we've kind of reached our ceiling with Stoops, so we might need to go for someone else.
I think you might have just reached your ceiling if you're...
You may have reached the ceiling of Kentucky?
Yeah, of Kentucky football. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like us making a bowl game every year is the ceiling of Arkansas football,
And I think the ceiling of Kentucky is kind of expecting a bowl, and anything above that is a great season. The every once in a while 8 to potentially 10 win seasons that you get sprinkled in is just icing on the cake.
Just cherry on top right there.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, fire him, see what happens, but probably nothing good, I would imagine.
No.
For Auburn, did you see the graphic? I'm going to see if I can pull up the Hugh Freeze sick graphic.
I've not seen this.
I'm going to see what I'm going to see what they use. It's Hugh Freeze battling illness. I want to see the graphic they used. Come on, internet, work for me. Because it was hilarious. Hugh Freeze just consistently being hilarious. Oh, I don't. Damn it. Let me see if I can find the fucking actual graphic. No, it's not it. No, don't see it. Either way, though,
Can you describe it to me in 5 sentences or less?
I mean, I would have just reused the picture of him from the hospital bed.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Remember?
Yeah, dude.
That
Giving a thumbs up.
that was hilarious. That's the best thing. That is the best thing Hugh Freeze has ever done.
That dude is a dirtbag. That dude is such a dirtbag.
It's perfect for Auburn.
He is perfect for Auburn. This is a dirtbag program.
SMU 28, Duke 27.
Let's have a conversation about Duke, shall we?
Like a good conversation or a bad conversation?
I think it's a good conversation. I think they're a good football team.
My question is, how do you lose a football game when you win the turnover battle 6-0?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Yeah.
SMU had 3 interceptions and 3 fumbles given up, and they still win. Like we saw what happened in the Navy Notre Dame game when that happened.
That's true. It got a little bit lopsided at that point.
The fact that SMU came back and won this game and wasn't getting blown out makes me think that Duke's not good.
That's fair. I guess Duke hasn't been really winning against anybody at this point.
I will say Duke is better than we thought they would be. I think getting 6 wins is better than we thought they would be. But I don't think Duke is a good team.
Duke is just Duke.
I might take Miami next week to throttle them. To absolutely obliterate them.
Okay.
Kansas State 29, Kansas 27, Sunflower Showdown. K-State gets the dub. Close one here. A 55-yard field goal for K-State to win it.
It's insane how far people are able to kick the ball these days. I still maintain that there are only 8 good place kickers on planet Earth at any given time.
It just feels like the range has gotten so much better. Maybe the accuracy not, because we see people missing from 32 now. But
right.
The range is crazy in the NFL and college football. And it feels more pronounced this year.
A little bit. What are they doing? What's so different?
I have no idea. Steroids? Leg steroids?
Leg specific steroids that
Yeah.
are probably Italian.
Horse ones, maybe? For those hindquarters?
That is just specifically for that one leg.
Yes. They walk around with a you see the arm wrestlers with the one giant jacked arm? They got that on their kicking leg.
Yeah. That's the noise that they have to make because they're on leg steroids.
Colorado 34, Cincinnati 23. Colorado's good.
Colorado's good.
I hate it, but they're good.
I kind of like it. I like Coach Prime.
It's fine, yeah. It does make it kind of entertaining, and they're a fun team.
Anybody who's an epic wearer of chains, I'm a fan of.
Washington State 29, San Diego State 26, just Washington State chugging along. And then finally, Hawaii 34, Nevada 13. What a weekend of college football, Chase.
Yeah, man.
Hawaii needing 3 more wins to make a bowl. Fresno, UNLV, Utah State, New Mexico.
Do you think there are 3 wins in there?
Well, they get Fresno. No, they go to Fresno. They get UNLV. Nah, that's UNLV. Probably not. Probably not. If they make a bowl, though, crazy job. Great job from Hawaii if they make a bowl game.
That's true.
Great win against Nevada. It was homecoming. That was big. Now, Chase, any other takes on college football before we dip our toes in the NFL and get out of here for the folks?
No, I don't.
This season, the parody of college football seems way more out there and in your face. I love it.
Yeah, I can't point to a team and say that they're going to be number 1 for the rest of the season or anything. I think Oregon could just as easily get knocked off by anybody else. I think Georgia could just as easily lose a second game to somebody. So could Texas or Yep. So I think it's all I'm with you on the parody.
To the NFL on Thursday, we had Rams 30, Vikings 20. Rams back, baby. They got their receivers back. They look good.
Apparently, there's this angle that it's after playing against the Detroit Lions, people are fucking terrible, just straight up and against the spread.
Yeah, Eric was telling me. I think it goes back. I thought it was just this year. I think it goes back to like midpoint last season. So, I tailed it this week. I bet the Rams straight up.
I went the wrong way.
I'm sticking with the trend, which means this next week. I'm gonna fade the Titans, which crazy thought, right? Crazy thought.
Fading the Titans. Yep.
Let's just talk that game. Detroit 52, Tennessee 14. Yeah, the Lions look really good.
Yeah, they do.
Are they the best team in the NFL right now?
I don't want to say it if they are, because we have that curse.
So the Lions win the game 52-14 with 61 passing yards.
61 passing yards?
52 points, 61 passing yards.
My brain doesn't comprehend how you do that. I guess it does. I guess you run the ball a lot.
They ran for 164 yards total.
Okay.
It was special teams.
It was all special teams, it sounds like.
They had 2 long kick returns, 1 long punt return, and then another punt return for a touchdown. Domination from the Lions here. Eagles 37, Bengals 17. Eagles put it on them. I'm officially stamping the Cincinnati Bengals as a not good team.
And I think that the Eagles are actually turning into a fairly good team at this point.
Too. I think so. Here's the one, baby. Browns 29, Ravens 24. Jameis
Magic, you had to know that this was going to happen, right? And you had to know he was going to ball out.
And we got the everything Jameis sandwich. He, on that last drive especially, they're driving down the field. He throws a 100% interception that is just brutally dropped.
Yeah.
And then turns around the next fucking play and throws a bomb for a touchdown.
Yeah, he has no fear. Did you see his pregame interview that he did? It was kind of creepy, a little bit unnerving, and I loved every single minute of it.
Did you see his post-game interview when he quoted Eminem?
No, I did not. That's fantastic, though.
I want to get the exact quote. I want the exact quote. So here it is. After the game, this is what Jameis Winston said. There's a white boy from Detroit that I really admire named Eminem. He said, "You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity only comes once in a lifetime."
I love that people quote songs from my senior year at high school and take it very seriously. Some of this old poet Eminem, something he says.
I am in love with this Browns team now. I hope they go on a forever run.
Me too.
How many teams would take Jameis in a heartbeat?
I can, if I were the Saints, I would take him back in a heartbeat now.
Yes.
There's a few teams that would take him in a heartbeat.
Jets, I take him over Aaron Rodgers if I'm the Jets.
Honestly, yeah. He looks boo-boo. He looks terrible.
He looks dookie. Speaking of which, Patriots 25, Jets 22.
Dude, I'm kind of loving how bad the Jets are right now, to be honest. Loving it. Every second of it.
They're really bad.
I feel like they danced with the devil and they've gotten burned a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's really great to watch.
They are so awful, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, man.
Cardinals 28, Dolphins 27. Tua was back, so at least it was a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
Did you see him go for that scramble? He went for an 11-yard scramble, and I clenched my butt cheeks so hard.
Did he get down or did he get out of bounds?
He slid. He slid.
All right.
He's learning.
With like ample time, he slid.
Yeah, he slid with plenty of time.
Yeah.
He looked good, dude. I mean, especially in the first half, he was slinging it. This Dolphins team was fun to watch again. I also just think the Cardinals are legitimately good.
I think they might be pretty good this season. Yeah.
They're probably, I mean, right now, first team in the NFC West, on track to make the playoffs. This team, Cardinals. And Kyler Murray doing it and looking really, really good on Call of Duty opening weekend.
Yeah. That's always a big takeaway is if he can perform on Call of Duty opening weekend.
You think they give him Monday off?
Oh, 100%.
They should.
They probably plan a whole map pack or whatever around Kyler's day off.
Falcons 31, Bucks 26.
I guess do we have to talk about the Falcons actually being pretty fucking good at football?
I think we do. Did you see? I think we do. Like they've been getting better. This offense was good. I mean, Tampa Bay, you need to see more of their defense, but like I'll give Baker credit. He had his two best weapons out, injured, hurt.
That's fair. That's going to hurt Tampa Bay down the stretch for sure.
Like you can't put this game on the Bucks offense. That defense is supposed to be better.
That's fair. I don't know. It might just be the Atlanta has the horseshoe, but it seems like they went from having the horseshoe to now to just like soundly beating teams.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. I think this is actually a good team. Which my take on the NFL this year is there's not that many good teams this year. Like
I don't think
very few. It feels like, and I think Atlanta's creeping into that category.
I think that there are two good teams in the AFC, and then the rest of the AFC is trash.
Dude, it's like I think I saw a stat like over 30% of the AFC has 2 wins.
That's terrible. That's awful. And it seems like the ceiling in the NFC isn't quite as high, but it feels like the floor isn't near as low in the NFC at least.
I'd say the AFC there are 3 good teams and then garbage, and then the NFC it's like a couple like really good teams and then mid.
And yeah, just a lot of mid, whole lot of mid.
Also, I thought this. Did you see Kirk Cousins' pregame speech?
Okay,
let's give a little quick listen.
We fight no cap.
We fight no cap.
We walk in your trap. We go in your trap.
We walk in your trap, they go in your trap.
We fight no cap.
We fight no cap.
We walk in your trap. They go in your trap.
We walk in your trap, they go in your trap.
We walk in your trap. They go in your trap.
There you go. Full on Kirk Cousins season, my man.
That's what it looks like when I'm listening to Big X the Plug, isn't it? Like I just got like a glimpse, like I take it away a little bit. I'm like, oh, hold on, is that what it looks like now?
You don't want to be looking like Kirk Cousins?
No cap, children. Dead ass.
Do you think they like kind of force him to do that?
I think so, a little bit. He seems to be a pretty good mascot, you know.
He does.
Dude, I could see him though walking in and taking over your trap.
I could too. That's what Kirk Cousins does. He's the trap king.
He'd take over that trap with kindness.
Also, as much as like we've made the anti-clutch Kirk thing, I think since 2022 he's dominating in 1-score games.
He's been really, I was going to say earlier, he's been really clutch this season especially.
He also had a 13-yard scramble in this game, so he's like 100% back.
Oh, baby, we are so back with Kirk Cousins now.
Packers
30. As long as they keep layering their chains on him.
Every game they just need to give him a new chain.
I'm cool with it.
Packers 30, Jaguars 27. And like Jordan Love gets hurt, Malik Willis comes in, looks pretty darn good. Trevor Lawrence didn't even look awful this game. Dougie P's like next coach up on the chalking block, right?
Yeah, gotta be.
I don't know why my camera just went fuzzy, but yeah, Dougie P, like Get him out of here.
You can't put. Oh, now you're super clear. You can't put all of this on Trevor Lawrence by all means. Like sometimes it's that defense, sometimes it's the play calling. Like it's not just Trevor Lawrence at this point.
Facts. Texas 23, Colts 20. I understand why the Colts keep playing Anthony Richardson. Like, you got to see what you get. It has to be frustrating watching this year, watching some of these games, being like, if they had Joe Flacco win, they're winning this game.
Right. Yeah. He's just so exciting. Like, everything that he does is exciting. Like, he's so fast. He throws the ball a friggin' mile. Yeah, man. Like, I'm with you. Like, you want them to put him in because you want to see what he's going to do.
But then you see the games that they had Joe Flacco in, and they're winning. Like,
yeah,
Anthony Richardson, entertainment factory, a freak of nature. He stinks as a quarterback.
But he can throw the ball so far, Jim.
He can throw it so far. Chase, he went 10 for 32, 175 yards.
So he made those 10 really count.
Yeah, he did. But he stinks at the intermediate. Like, he is awful at everything that makes being a quarterback a quarterback.
But with those intermediate passes, you don't take into account that he throws the ball so hard.
It's true. It's true.
He's just rocket laser arm.
He is an entertainment factory, but man, he stinks. Chargers 26, Saints 8. When do you get Carr back?
I don't know, dude. He went on the IR, so I think he's at least got like a couple more weeks before he's designated to return. Because I think you're gone 4 weeks whenever you're on the IR.
I think we've gotten enough of the Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, I think we got enough of the Jake Hayner.
Yeah. Which sucks. I really wanted Jake Hayner to be good.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Jake Hayner's the kind of guy that would, like, rock in the UFL.
Oh, totally.
He would kill it in the UFL.
I think Spencer Rattler would kill it in the UFL.
I think he would, too. I think at this point, I don't know, you go back to just doing the whole Taysom thing until Carr comes back?
I don't know, dude. They got to do something. And it's not like the defense is, like, stopping anybody right now either. Like, it's just, everyone just seems kind of defeated at this point.
Can we get Dennis Allen on the chopping block?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, he stinks.
I think it's time to burn it down, quite honestly.
Burn it all down, start selling people, start, like, trade. You want to trade Kamara?
I think they just re-signed Kamara, too. Like,
I think so.
And I would just say, like, just burn it down. Just trade for draft picks and just burn it down and start new.
Who's one Saint you would, like, hate to see on the trade list? Also, shout out Ghostface, I guess.
One Saint I would hate to see on the trade list.
Personally, for me, I know I'm not like a Saints fan, but it just feels wrong. I would hate to see Lattimore go.
I kind of like Marshawn Lattimore a whole lot.
He just feels like a lifer, right?
He does feel like a lifer. He fights the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like he's a lifer.
Like, he has the hate of a true Saint.
He has the, yeah. Lattimore,
it would suck to see Kamara go.
It would suck to see Kamara go. I don't know. Like, I kind of have warm, fuzzy feelings for Chris Olave, too.
I mean, you can't trade him. You just got him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still on his rookie contract, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure who I couldn't. Right now, I just can't think of anybody that I couldn't live with, and I can say just, like, burn it down.
Fire your coach, get Mike Vrabel.
Yes, I would 100% take Mike Vrabel.
Love it.
You see what he did with what's his name?
Yes, I did.
old boy, Tannehill. Are you kidding me?
Bills 31, Seahawks 10. That's one of the three good AFC teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
They look
somehow
good. They got weapons.
How did Amari Cooper look in the Bills lineup?
He's looked all right. He looked better last week, I thought. Um, he looks good though, and then he just opens up everything else they want to do throwing the football.
Just because people have like 2 on Amari Cooper all the time.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
if we just go by stats, I mean, Cooper only went 1 for 3, but like you open up a guy like Khalil Shakir, 9 receptions for 107 yards, Keon Cole for 70, Dawson Knox for 50. Like, this team is good. And James Cook, once they're able to run the ball, amazing. Josh Allen did throw his first interception of the season in this game.
Sorry, the past performances for the Breeders' Cup just came out, so
we'll wrap this up real quick then.
I got distracted by something shiny there. Please continue.
Broncos 28, Panthers 14.
Are we gonna admit that the Broncos are good?
They are good. I think they are good. I think they have a really good defense. I don't want to admit that Bo Nix is good yet.
He's not a real one. You wouldn't throw it back for him?
I've seen too much.
You've seen too much.
I've seen too much of like over the. I don't know. He's looked good these last few weeks, dude. He's gotten better. I hate it, but the Broncos are a good team. Bo Nix is good. That defense is good. They've played some really like questionable teams, except for the Bucs. I don't know, man. I think the Broncos are legit. I'm excited to see them play the Ravens this coming week.
That will be an interesting matchup, I think, because the Ravens somehow, like, counterintuitively are so bad. Like, they're so good against the rush, and they're so bad against the pass.
But they also, like, they barely lose to the Chiefs. They have lost to the Raiders and the Browns, aside from that.
Crazy.
Where were we? Speaking of which, Chiefs 27, Raiders 20. The Chiefs keep looking bad and winning these games.
A rivalry game.
Yeah, rivalry. I don't know, man. I mean, selfishly, for the garage, I think I kind of want the Raiders just to trade Max Crosby to the Lions.
Don't you kind of want to see it?
I want him back in Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah. Just straight up Eastern Michigan kid.
Yeah. Bring him back.
Yeah. Is he from Michigan originally?
I think so.
Don't Google that. Don't. We're just gonna say he is.
We're gonna say yes. We're gonna say he's Detroit, like born and raised.
Okay, he was born in a Little Caesars pizza box.
Yes.
Yeah.
Commanders 18, Bears 15.
Oh my God! What a finish to a football game!
What a fucking finish! What an awesome finish that makes you not remember how shit the actual game was.
True. How do you mess up that Hail Mary?
Did you see the clips of the who was the Bears defender?
The guy like looking off at the.
He was waving at the crowd, and then he was supposed to be the guy covering the back part of the Hail Mary.
Oh man!
Talk about another coach who should be gone. Fucking
who?
Eberflus.
I think he's kind of doing as well as you can do with like a very, very rookie quarterback.
Their offensive line is garbage. That defense for the Bears, though, is hot.
Yeah, that is.
And also, just in general, it is extremely fun to watch Shane Daniels play.
Absolutely.
He's so fun. So damn fun. And then 49ers 30, Cowboys 24.
Right now, who cares about either one of these teams?
Honestly, you're 100% right. I don't care. Nobody should care. It's fun that the Cardinals are first in the NFC West.
Way to go, the Cardinals.
Any takes on the NFL before we dip out for the people, Chase?
No.
I think we kind of hit the nail on the head with like there's only probably like 7 or 8 good teams in the NFL. The rest are just bad.
Just really bad.
Really, really bad. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Follow that man, Chase, at of Oaklawn everywhere. Follow me at XFL Jim everywhere. Give us a like. Give us a follow. It does help. We appreciate it. We love you. We'll see you next time for another episode of the Jimnasium. Bye-bye. Mwah.